Good afternoon, and thanks everybody for attending today's webinar on InboxGuru. My name is Chad Ruff, and I am the founder. Just to let you know, we will be taping the webinar and we'll send this out right after this event. Today's session should be about 30 minutes. After that, we'll be open for questions at the end, so please use the questions portion on the GoToWebinar. Today we'll be showing a brief overview of the power of InboxGuru. We will cover topics on drip email and nurture marketing. We'll also look at landing pages, surveys, and website visitor tracking. For a deeper dive into Infor CRM and InboxGuru, please register for a full demo or with your Infor CRM partner. So, who is InboxGuru? Again, my name is Chad Ruff and I'm the founder. I've been doing marketing automation since 2006. I founded a local Atlanta company called SalesFusion. SalesFusion is a marketing automation company that focuses on Salesforce, Microsoft, Sugar, and several other CRMs. I left SalesFusion in the mid-2015 to start a new venture, one that would focus solely on Infor CRM. So, what are some of the design goals of InboxGuru and why do we build this? The biggest design goal is that we don't have to sync data between Infor CRM and InboxGuru. The days of downloading data and getting differential data are over. Another huge design goal was to better leverage the power of Infor CRM via the dynamic groups. Dynamic groups allow the marketer to have access to any table within the Infor CRM system. So if you want to build a segmentation on a customer registration table or perhaps an ERP data, this is all done through the dynamic group builder. In addition, most marketing automation systems limit you to merge data in emails to the data that is contained within the external marketing automation system. With InboxGuru, anything that the dynamic group can see in the layout window is available for an email merge. This makes your emails highly customizable. In addition, the nurture logic can route its flow based on dynamic groups layout values as well. Again, all this is done without having to sync one contact or lead record. So let's discuss the core features of InboxGuru. First, we have email marketing. Email marketing can be used to do one-off email blasts to your entire database or have a time-based series of emails to introduce an event. We also have A/B testing and other advanced features. Nurture marketing introduces a decision tree. We have lead capture forms, surveys, lead scoring, website visitor tracking, asset tracking, social publishing, a sales engagement tool called Sales Pilot, and our Outlook and Chrome plugin. Okay, now it's demo time. This is what you're here for. I always like to start our demo with a dynamic group. Here we see the core Infor CRM lead table. You would build a dynamic group as you normally would. When building conditions, you have access to any table that Infor can see. When building the layout, you can drag and drop fields and make them available within InboxGuru. Here, we'll take a simple field and drag it into layout. We'll see this again later in the demo. Now let's jump into InboxGuru. As you can see, a new menu system was added to Infor. The entire InboxGuru experience is inside of Infor. You never have to leave it. All email campaigns, including bulk, drip, trigger, and nurture, are created from the drip marketing tab. So let's create a new campaign. We'll name it, select the number of emails. Now let's select the list that we want to send to. As you can see, we have personal list, dynamic groups, and ad hoc groups. Personal lists are lists that are contained within InboxGuru only. You can upload a list, have them scored, and then pushed into CRM based on your preferences. A dynamic group is a group within Infor. So we'll use the EU list that we did in our demo earlier. The list compare options. This is a very powerful part of InboxGuru. So what this does is it allows us to look at the dynamic group in real time and compare it to who's in the drip campaign right now. So as you know, dynamic groups are ad hoc queries and recipients inside the dynamic groups change at all times. So as people come into the dynamic group, InboxGuru has the ability to go and look at it, compare to the drip campaign, and add net new people to the top of the drip campaign. If people are removed from the dynamic group or ad hoc group, we'll remove them from the dynamic campaign as well. You can also customize who the email address comes from. You can do it as a common one, like marketing, or you can do it from the leader account contact account manager. Let's hit create. As you can see, this is a visual designer. Looks very much like Microsoft Visio. The campaign flow is very customizable. For instance, if we want to add a new email, we simply select the email, select Insert After, and insert an email. If we want to remove the email, we select the email and select Remove. If we want to change the time between the two emails, we select that object and change the days. We can even say do not send on weekends. Let's say that we wanted this email to go off at a certain date and time instead of an instant release. We can change this to a specific date and time. Select maybe 4:20 and 11 a.m. Now let's get a little advanced. Let's add a decision to this flow. To do that, I select the email, I select Insert After, and a decision. You can see that we can make decisions on several different things, such as the column or layout value from Infor CRM. So if this is bound to a dynamic group and that column exists inside the layout of the dynamic group, we can make decisions based on those values. We can also do it on email open, email click, whether they exist in a list or not in a list. For now, we'll just say, did they open email series number 1? Now let's say that if they did not open the email, they go down the no path, and we want to do an action instead of an end. We will just change this object to an action. Now let's edit that action. As you can see, we can do many different things for actions. We can add an activity to Infor CRM for follow-up. We can add them to another drip. We can add them to a list. We can update a lead or contact field. We can send an email notification to the account owner. We can remove them from this drip or remove them from a list. For now, we'll add an activity. Now we've added activity in this flow. Finally, everything must have an endpoint, so we'll insert an action called end. Now let's talk about the email editor. To edit the email, click on the email and select Edit Email Content. Here we have our email editor. Let's talk about the merge fields. By clicking the merge fields, we'll do a dynamic call to the dynamic group to find out what's in this layout. These are the available fields in the layout. For here, I'll just select first name. Now, when I send the email, it'll bind this email to the dynamic group's lead or contact record. We can also insert assets or the Kuvana asset. Other advanced features are enabling A/B testing. By selecting Enable A/B Testing, I now have an A and a B at the top left. If I select B, I can now edit my B campaign. Let's import a template that we have saved already. This was an email that was built in our email templates. We can save this and toggle back over to A. Another cool feature is that we integrate with MailChimp. We have a lot of customers coming over from MailChimp that use both MailChimp and Infor CRM, and they do a lot of manual back and forth import and export. If you have your templates in MailChimp, you can use those within InboxGuru. Just find the template and select Import. This template was built in MailChimp, and now I can edit it and save it as my own template. Now let's look at email statistics. Let's open one that's already been sent. I can select the first email and click on View Email Statistics. This has a lot of recipients, so it'll take a time to generate. Here you can see that we have 86,000 members, and we get basic email stats such as delivered, not reported, unsubscribed, bounced, and even people who have complained about the email. We can slice and dice this data by clicking on the drop-down list box. Now let's jump over to Infor to see where all this data is contained. I'll open up an existing lead record and take a look at his history. Here you can see the full journey of the contact or lead. In November, an email was sent, an email was opened, and an email was clicked, followed by a page visit. On the right-hand side, you can see more details such as the page they visited or the link they clicked. Then, 3 days later, the same person came in and opened and clicked the email. Finally, a month later, they came back, opened the email, and visited a page. This is very powerful in understanding the journey of the lead or contact. Okay, let's move on to email templates. There's really not a lot to cover here. This is the same type of interface that you would see inside of drip marketing. We can have as many templates as we want, open them, edit them, import them, test them, everything's available. Next, let's talk about landing pages. We support several different types of landing pages, but today we'll only discuss two. We'll discuss the WordPress plugin and our survey builder. The redirect URL is where you want to direct them after they complete the form. Notifications are who within your company should get a notification when the form is completed. You can add them to a list. What's important about adding them to a list is this will automatically enroll them into any drip campaign that's monitoring this list. You can also directly add them to a campaign if you want them to get an instant email. You have a choice of adding them as a lead or a contact, or perhaps you don't even want to create them at all. We can dedupe them based on email address as well. And then we have lead assignment rules based on people in the system, or you can use the default Infor assignment rules. Let's go ahead and create this page. Here you see a visual designer very much like drip marketing. Our goal is that once you learn drip marketing, you want to relearn how to build landing pages. Let's jump into Form 1. We'll edit the form. As you can see, we have a blank layout. So let's go add a template. We'll do a contact us, which is just simply a first name, last name, email address, and company and phone number. So in just a couple of clicks, we've created our form. Now we can generate our web script. You would take this web script and you would copy and paste it into WordPress. What you will see is a form that looks just like this. As you can see, we're taking on the WordPress header and footer and even the site information. By dropping our form into WordPress, we'll take on the style sheet that WordPress has, so there's no need to worry about the look and feel of the form. Once they submit this form, it will obey all the Infor rules that we set up on the previous page. Now let's discuss the survey module. We'll go back over to landing pages, create a new page, name the page, and this time we'll select Page Designer. The rest of this information is the same, so we won't cover this again. Again, we have the same look and feel for the form designer. We'll add a template. Now we have our first name and last name. Let's add a control that allows us to collect data about a survey. In this case, we'll do a star rating. Here you can see that we can enter the question that we want asked. We can map it to any Infor CRM leader contact record. And then we can do some customization for this. Let's do a scale of 7 and default it to 3. Now we have our rating control. Let's preview this page. So now we have, in just a few clicks, a full page to collect contact information with a rating. Now let's get fancy. Let's add a decision to our flow. The decision is going to be based on a question that we asked in a previous page. What's your rating of us? So we'll say, is it less than 4? Now you can see that we can make a decision based on questions that were asked. Let's say if it's less than 4, we want to collect more information. We can change this end block to another page. Then we can edit the page to ask a question. Let's add a control and ask for comments. We'll say, why so low? Now if I return to this page, you'll see that I have a decision. If it's less than 4, it goes to collect more comments. If it's greater than 4, we can end it or we can ask more questions. Now let's talk about web activity. InboxGuru will give you web script to put on your website. Each incoming hit to your website will be recorded. If a person was cookied through a form or through clicking an email, that will be recorded as well. That information is pushed back into Infor CRM. If they're an anonymous person, we'll take the IP address and look in a database to find out what company has registered that IP address. That information will be reported back to you in daily alerts and can be pushed into Infor CRM as an option. The final 2 items are Sales Pilot and Assets. I will send each registrant a recording of these features as they will take too long to discuss today. Thank you for your time.